go into the danger zone. The danger zone? Who turned off the lights?
I am a master builder!
If you're like me, you're loving the new era of LEGO games, with them kind of stepping away from the original formula and adapting to the games they're making now. Star Wars Lego Universe Far Far Away was perfect. Then there's the new Batman game that has made something so fantastic I didn't even know I wanted it until I originally saw the trailer. Oh, what's this? Another Batman Lego game. Do we need another Lego Batman game? Isn't this like the 4th one?
A few moments later.
I am the Knight. Bringing the whole Batman legacy from Arkham games to the Tim Burton slightly painful to watch, but still kind of perfect in a weird way. Every time I watch them, I cringe and go, how did they make this set so perfect? Oh, but this scene alone sold me, and I'm finally playing it.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by... Ah! Who put that there?
What stories can LEGO tell next? Or actually retell, as the stories have already been told, so it's technically retelling the stories with LEGO. Anyway, either way, let's mumble about that. When I think of a legacy of a whole character, it has to be that cemented together, that long kind of legacy that's worth playing. Actually, it would probably more likely be glued together in LEGO. As a lot of characters' legacy is either too small or too all over the place.
Well, children can be cruel.
I would love The Flash, Wonder Woman or Daredevil, but realistically, when you compare these legacies to Batman, it's like comparing British sitcoms to the American sitcoms. They're quality in British stuff, but their legacy is still pretty small. We're on about DC because we talked about the Batman game, so let's start with DC. There's only really 2 characters you can make a game of, one of them being Batman and the other one being, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the only possible way we'd ever get a Superman game. Superman, even though it's missing that game in Legacy because everyone is scared of making it. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You don't have the underpants to make the Superman game. I know the Justice League, killing the Justice League was terrible, and I know it was going to originally be a Superman game. It had Brainiac in, and it had Metropolis in, and Lois. It was going to be a Superman game. I know it was. I know it was. You had the red pants on, you took them off, and you put some whitey tighty whiteys on instead, didn't you? You did it.
Playing dumb, master builder. No.
Anyway, Superman Lego. If you're currently enjoying these mumbles, remember to subscribe to join the babbling brood. Batman Legacy worked so well because it molded all these kind of moments into one. From getting kind of overused nuts reference to iconic Heath Ledger stuff. Even bringing in elements from the new Batman movies. It's all there, feeling like a true legacy. Superman does have a similar legacy to a weird point. Basically, it's just been here for a while constantly. Superman would make a great legacy, but when your arch nemesis is a bald man... God, no, not that one. There's a special place in hell for that one. Yeah, that one. Seeing multiple Joker versions is always kind of fun, but just seeing about 8 bald men could be pretty boring. Do I buy eggs for this, or do I just use stock footage? Oh, no one's watching this bit. Weirdly enough, the most exciting character of Superman kind of villain legacy, what easily could be Superman's true nemesis, is Brainiac. Bloody Suicide Squad game. He has never had the spotlight like the Joker, meaning that if he appeared in the LEGO Superman, it would feel slightly off if he was the main villain. The Legacy game feels like it would need to take more inspiration from the comics in comparison to the Batman Legacy. It really becomes weird as you think of it. A lot of Superman's legacy is still not told on the big screen. I think he will do soon with Big Bad Guardian Gun at the helm. But currently Superman's legacy is nowhere near the legacy of Batman, mostly due to Batman kind of having that trilogy, what kind of pushed Batman above what he was then, but Superman never really got that trilogy. Would it work? Yes. Would it be that good? Probably not, as Batman Legacy. But Marvel, on the other hand, if you were just looking at one character personally, I would argue maybe two. One being Spider-Man and the other one being Wolverine. With Spider-Man being the obvious one, it has the villains, the variety of characters across the board. The legacy of Spider-Man has been mirrored through Batman's films-wise, kind of, with there being so many variations. Then simply it just would work as the Batman game works. We have done it. We have found the next Lego story. Spider-Man. Spider-Man will be the next retelling of Lego. So that's it for this Mumble. Remember to like and subscribe for future Mumbles, and I will see you on oh wait a minute, it might be impossible. Even though Spider-Man is a perfect choice, the fact that it's Spider-Man, I have to probably do some research to find out who owns what. It's probably enough for Lego to look at this and think, what game would you want legofied? Actually, comment below what you think, what game, what character, what legacy, what film franchise would you want legofied? Comment below. A legacy character that is fully owned by an evil kind of corporation. Oh, they own everything. They know everything. The adamantium guy who is getting his own game. The once old, the once overused, is kind of overused still in the comics. The Batman of the X-Men. The guy with the knives. Wolverine. Even though there is one problem, Wolverine has always kind of looked like a shepherd who got murdered and his sheep had to go on a murder mystery journey. He just gives me that vibe. The Wolverine legacy though is not as vast as the Batman, mostly due to popularity becoming later and kind of always being part of the pesky X-Men, definitely holding him back all these years. Not the other way around at all, making everyone think other characters are terrible but they're actually really good. Wolverine though has had the very early legacy through cartoons, what could easily bulk up the kind of lack of content. Also some villains as well. As for a character that was so popular for a long time, his villains are pretty mid. Even though comparing Batman to Wolverine's villains would be like comparing Batman's legacy to Superman's legacy. Too soon? But how does Wolverine not have his own R-rated rogues gallery? We have Sabretooth, obviously, Omega Red, what is kind of just Sabretooth again, but with metalish tentacles, and I'm pretty sure he's a Russian vampire. Okay, that is a kind of a cool villain, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have that Claw Woman. We have probably like 5 other weapon people. We have the Silver Samurai, I think that's a Wolverine villain. Pretty sure it's a Wolverine villain. There should be a memorable one. There shouldn't be one I could easily forget. That's what I'm trying to get. I do think if we're going to go Wolverine, it needs to kind of snowball into this kind of X-Men legacy, because the X-Men legacy is big, wide, and fun. So why not? Rather than do just one crappy mutant, do all of them, bub. Every mutant. X-Men legacy. Could you imagine it? Rather than just Wolverine going up against his crappy villains, we could have Magneto. Because you really want to have, well, I really want to have Magneto if you're doing Wolverine. Because of the metal stuff and the fights are kind of good. And then you could even do a feral story of Wolverine like they think they did. Currently doing it in X-Men 97. I've talked about comics enough. Let's move away from this kid zone and go into the danger zone. The danger zone? Who turned off the lights? A while back I watched a video about what if Lego made a horror game. Even though mostly questioned what series Lego could use for their horror game, I think it would be inspired by Little Nightmares 3. Even though there is a unique kind of Lego feeling to Little Nightmares, Lego games now have evolved into completely different beasts. I'll link the video below if you want to watch it. Still though, we have the question, what horror franchise do we do? Do we go for Halloween? Would kind of work, but it maybe would get boring pretty quick. There's no variation on Mike Myers or any originality of what is happening. It's a classic slasher and it never really changes location. Ooh, Friday the 13th. That would work pretty well with all the variations of Jason. Oh yeah, and the first film would be kind of cool where Jason is not really there but also is kind of there. You could make it more humorous as the ghost of Jason is always there, but it's not a kid, it's just a mask appearing, even though it is the mum doing all the murders. Spoilers, but it's like 30-year-old film. There's also so many different locations. Even though it could be the perfect adaptation, the fact that most of the franchise still takes place in a lake, no matter what we do, hell, space, New York City, or is it now New York City? No matter what, we always end up back at the swamp or lake. Swampy lake. It's like Goldilocks. The bed is too simple. The bed is too in a swamp too many times. But a franchise that was mostly in space until they make a TV show what made it go back to Earth and they called it Earth might be just right. When scouring my kind of forced knowledge of horror films from Mrs. Mumble, I think Alien would maybe be the perfect franchise to go full Lego. The amount of different characters for a better or worse would be great. Going from the old school closed off Ripley eras to the new era and then back again to this current era would feel so perfect for the Lego feeling. On top of that, we have the Predator making an appearance, as why not? They own both of them. I think they're both owned by the same company now, I'm pretty sure. So we could even have them movies as the legacy. Then there's even some games what are pretty good, what could be part of the legacy as in the game. First person kind of way. Oh my god, we could have a first-person Lego horror game for a little bit. This franchise making it into Lego, we have a wealth of characters, a weird amount of locations, and then a weirder amount of different stories. Like, there's a lot of different stories in the Alien franchise. This is like the golden spurtle of Goldilocks for Lego games. It's a documentary. It's good. It's about porridge eating in Scotland, or I think it's Scotland or Ireland. Competition. Would it ever happen? Probably not, but it would be fun. Okay, we had some fun. We've talked about Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Alien. But now let's put our logical hat on. Currently I see Lego going back to two franchises. To the now controversial but still difficult not to like as we all grown up with it, and they're starting to become diluted over time and will most likely be more diluted in the near future. Going from the fine wine of franchises to the water and apple cider vinegar. Going back to Lord of the Rings currently feels like a no-brainer. It was over 10 years ago that Lord of the Rings Lego game was made. Even though it has aged pretty well, most Lego games do, it feels like it needs a more recent remake like the Skywalker Legacy. I hate calling it the Skywalker Legacy so much. In a game, you can't beat the "You shall not pass." You shall not pass. The "Ride with me."
Ride out with me.
And whatever happened in Return of the King.
Charles!
And to a lot of people's annoyance, it would combine both the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, like they kind of did with the Star Wars games. All this kind of makes sense that it will happen in the future. Another one would be Harry Potter. I know it's a controversial take, but just going over it, it would probably work as a more of a Batman Legacy, going fully open world, getting all the characters, getting all the different things, going full open world like Hogwarts Legacy. But obviously it'd be controversial. Everyone would be saying how bad it is not to buy it, but everyone would still buy it because people like Hogwarts and people like Harry Potter because we grew up with Harry Potter, even though the writer is an arsehole. But still, it would happen. Ugh. What's that? It's a subject change. Oh no, it's a mid-mumble moment. So there are some massive kind of franchises what feel like they could be games but don't really need a whole section in this video to talk about, as they could be games, they could have been games, but they should have been games long ago, but probably not now as they're not in the current trend. Star Trek is one of them. Star Trek is beloved across the franchise, but it's so weirdly everywhere. It feels like if you made a Lego game of Star Trek, I don't know where they would start. Like, I've watched the original one half and then Picard a bit, not the Picard Prime, the original one, because I was going to watch Picard on Prime, but then I watched the cartoon, what was really good, Below Decks. Then I watched some of the spin-off ones, didn't like some, like the more less serious ones, but it's everywhere. Also like the films, but other people didn't like the films, but I like the films as well. It's everywhere. It's so many different Star Trek things. It's near impossible, I think, maybe to make a game out of the whole legacy of it. Another one would be Back to the Future. I'd argue Back to the Future would have been a prime release for when the Indiana Jones game released. I wish it released instead of it because it would be fun. I don't think it would work now, but it would have worked then. Despicable Me. It's popular. There's minions. It would be fun. There's like 4, 5, 6, how many films is there now? There's a lot of films. You could play as the minions, you could play as Gru, you could play as the kids, you could play as the villains. Take the moon, have a moon level, it'd be fun. People would hate it, kids would love it, I'd probably play it. Another one would be Shrek. Maybe if it gets back to popularity after Shrek 5, probably not. It'd be fun. Transformers would be good, and Ninja Turtles. Oh, Ninja Turtles Legacy would be All these franchises would be good, but a franchise that would be better, what's happening? Ah! I think The Simpsons might be one of the most recognizable things ever, so why not make it into a Lego game? If this was to happen, it can't really just be one kind of episode of the whole show or multiple. It has to have its own original story, then bring back together so many references, like another kind of game. It's not like we're ever going to get that Simpsons Hit and Run sequel or remake, so why not Simpsons Brick and Run? Yeah, it would basically just be Hit and Run, but Lego, with hopefully a better overall story. The Simpsons Lego game could have characters, pieces, locations, and reference to the high heavens. We have to get another Simpsons game at some point. It's kind of weirdly we haven't got one. There's a generation now that have never seen the Simpsons movie game, the Simpsons Hit and Run game, and that is criminal. The only thing they know is that Simpsons mobile game. Hello? Hello? Who are there? Maybe if I talk about the game and get out? Oh no, I've already covered that. If we were going into the legacy avenue of different characters, an arguably legacy that would be on the level of Batman would be Joker. Lego has done the villains already once, but I'm pretty sure you made your own villain, and let's all be honest, do we really want to make our own villains? Are they ever going to be better than the villains that they already made in the comics? I don't want to play as insert description here. I want to play as my favourite villain, the Condiment King. He has condiments. He can use mayonnaise to blind people, hot sauce to make that weird tingling on your fingers. And thanks for asking, I am very excited for the Condiment King copyright infringement. The game could work as a completely parallel to the Batman legacy. Even though using classic moments from the films, games, and most likely cartoons, it would possibly be slightly more exciting, as it would expand the moments as really we never see what the Joker does doing behind different moments. I rewatched the old Batman and the Joker in the museum or art gallery. Why is it so difficult to watch? Don't know why. We go through different times of meeting different villains, going through against different members of the Bat family, obviously getting to play as Harley Quinn and a couple of more villains. There's a real possibility that this game, based around the Joker's legacy, could be better than the Batman's legacy, even though it would be heavily inspired like the legacy was. Anime games are trash. Let's fix that with Lego. Lego and anime are like water and Lego. They mix, but you don't see it much. When looking into it, only really Pokemon has ever had a Lego set without having a live action at the time of release. One Piece now has Lego, even though it took so long, and it's that live action kind of weird looking kind of Lego, rather inspired by the anime. When you look through like the popular anime that I watched actually, there's a lot of them that could be Lego. Dragon Ball obviously, Naruto maybe, and Dragon Maid. What? But looking over everything, it does kind of have to be One Piece. They're even doing that short thing for Netflix, that Lego thing. Could you imagine though, starting the game as Luffy, going through the game, gaining the crew over time, to going to different islands, having a ship combat? It would feel like a Lego game we have never seen before. It has the possibilities of being something completely unique, with a completely different mechanic as a Lego ship that we've actually never seen in a Lego game, surprisingly. There is also a massive possibility of multiple games, because there is over 1,000 episodes, so it could be 4 games covering different elements, and the 5th game could currently cover the arc what's currently going, depending on how long it goes. Sorry, seasick. We start exactly at the beginning and we continue to get the first 5 members of the crew, but when it would end would be a difficult one. The gameplay is simple, all have their own abilities. The Lego, you could add the classes, and I think Lego is stepping away from that, and having the Lego ship battles are just so fun. I have kind of eaten a devil fruit and jumped into the ocean here, as I kind of really want this game, and I don't think we'll ever really get it, so I'm willing it in to the world. I think it would be the end of the Ines Lobby arc. It would be kind of a perfect ending for game 1, as a lot of the characters are with the crew in that point. A lot of the kind of character arcs are solid and kind of end there, and we kind of go on to new stuff and more things afterwards. Also, it's kind of my favorite arc of the whole show. The I want to live moment, every time I see a clip of it, makes me want to really re-watch One Piece again. Oh no, not again. Oh, fuck, no, fuck this. All this, trash. All of it, trash. The only reason I made this video is because I'm a Disney adult, got it? Damn it.
Pass us to Disney Town. He said to take 2 grown-ups.
Kingdom Hearts 3 took 5 years from my Disney life. 5 years. And I think 4 will kill me. So give me Disney Legacy Lego. Disney Lego, where you visit different worlds as, yes, obviously Mickey, the goddamn mouse, meeting all these different characters, going through these stories. This would be a kind of takeaway from the limits of Kingdom Hearts, because sometimes when you go into the world over the years, it feels like there are some limitations of what they could go to for one reason or another. This basically would be Kingdom Hearts Lego, but with less limits and less focus on hearts. It also kind of goes release order and builds the story from there. Even though it could get slightly boring at the beginning, it would ramp up when it started to go to the better franchises. There is probably more freedom here as well, because you could go through all the Disney properties and just add Lego onto them. You could even go back to Star Wars and Marvel and do it like that. That'd be kind of fun, because I don't know if Kingdom Hearts will ever do it. And if they do, I don't think it'll ever be good. If I was a dreaming man, there are 2 things I would want legofied. At one point, this whole video was just going to be me about why Dark Souls would be the best Lego game ever made. Then too much happened and, well, we're all here now, aren't we? Okay, imagine this. You walk into Anno's lobby. I suppose you fly. Instead of flying straight there, you are dropped, picked up again, and then you land to see the whole of Anna Londo in Lego form. You get the 2 golden twins, but one of them is running late from the toilet or something. I'm not a Lego writer, but I just think it'd be so fun. Can you imagine, like, different bosses? Or all of them should be voice acted. Even, like, the creatures, bosses, all should be voice acted. Maybe I could be a Lego writer. That's a dream. I've kind of wanted this for a long time, and Batman has given this element as it actually has a sort of difficulty level that no other Lego game has had before. As I think they're realizing a lot of people over 20 are loving the Lego games. Now, a lot of these gamers now have kind of been molded into loving the difficulty of games. Maybe it's from Software's becoming so popular. I know your cozy games, Lego is kind of on that cozy game level to me, I think, but your cozy games can just be washing a car, washing a thing, planting your plants. But I just want a behemoth in my cozy game. That's a lie, I really like Stardew Valley. If you just look at Dark Souls as a whole, I just think it would be so fun as a Legofied game. And isn't that what Lego games are for? Before we wrap up though, I have one last one. But a lot of people might not like it.
And meet some friends, man.
If you're arguing against South Park being a Lego game, you obviously have not played Fractured But Whole or The Stick of Truth in the opposite order, because that's the opposite order of their release. Not that weird crappy winter one that I played and did not like and I was so excited for because I thought it was going to be a spiritual successor to Stick of Truth, but it was absolutely dreadful. But imagine a Lego version of the kind of 2 classic games they've made in the past. You make your own Lego new kid and basically just go on an effed up adventure throughout the whole South Park again. It's simple and it would work. Could you imagine this could be the 3rd element of the game they're looking for? Because I think they're struggling with the theme of the next turn-based game. It's not going to be complicated. It'd literally be a South Park Lego turn-based game inspired by the 2 games before it. That'd be it. After going through a lot of different franchises, annoying DC fans, Marvel fans, and probably cozy gamer fans thinking about it, let's annoy some more by looking at different franchises that would make terrible Lego games. I think I heard a rumor that Dune was going to be a Lego game. A great movie. I've only watched one of them. I will watch the next one closest to the release of the next one, and I think it's soon, but it's a good movie. Okay, Sandmen and Women, I said it was good. If it was a Lego game though, it feels like it would possibly be the most boring Lego game ever. We'd all just be waiting to ride the worm. What sounds like a weird euphemism.
That's what she said. Don't you dare.
The game would be mostly around sand. The characters would look bland. There's not really much different looking things in this world to make it into a Lego game. It would kind of just be in one location, or feel like it'd be a location even though it'd be completely different locations. It would just feel boring very quickly. And also they actually haven't released all the films yet, so it's kind of impossible currently. I don't know how long it's going to go on for. Maybe they did the trilogy, but I don't think it'd be fun. Another one that wouldn't work yet is a Legacy. I don't want to see for a long time. I'm currently loving the new generation of DC films, even though Superman is kind of the main focus and I kind of feeling a bit too much of Superman currently, and I will die on a hill that I think the new Batman film should be the main Batman of the Justice League. out, but the argument is it's a whole 10-minute thing, and I don't think I have that time left. Justice League's legacy in the mainstream is kinda trash. The Snyderverse was trash, and that is really all we have. For the whole team has been together only for that one film, and it never really ended. DC have been owned by the same company for so long, and we've never had an actual legacy of the Justice League, what could be made into a game. When Wolverine has more of a legacy than Justice League in the whole of kind of movies, it's a weird feeling. Obviously, there is a lot of different stuff in Justice, there is the TV show, but it's the films. It's just lacking in the film legacy it kind of needs for a Lego game. That mainstream kind of legacy what needs to be there. And the Snyderverse doesn't cut it yet. Maybe in a couple of years where we do have a full-blown Justice League, it could make it. But that is a long time. Like, I want to be grayer by the time that happens. And I'm already a little bit grey. I want to be full-blown grey top before that happens. Really though, that's it for this Mumble. If I was a betting man and I put 76% of my bricks onto the next game being Lord of the Rings, a whole Lord of the Rings remake. That would where I'd put my bricks. Even though I'd probably prefer near enough all the other games I mentioned what haven't already been made yet. But that's it for this Mumble. Remember to comment below and like and subscribe for future Mumbles and join the Babbling Horde, and I will see you on the next Mumble.